last week you had a hot mic moment that got some attention. Let's just say you used some colorful language. Who doesn't?
Not me. I'm a Christian.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about MSNBC's Joy Reid getting checked, getting confronted, getting set straight by The View. Now, this is really, really interesting because you see this quite a bit over there on their side. Whenever someone kind of steps out of what they think you should do, they got to put you right back in check. They got to give you that wake-up call to say, hey, you can't just do whatever you want to do, say whatever you want to say. You must adhere to our rules, to our standards, to our ways of thinking. Now, in case you're a little bit lost, you don't know what's going on, or you need a refresher, let's go back. Now, I covered the video of Joy Reid recently having a hot mic moment. She was talking about a few things going on. You got Ukraine happening and the border bill happening and a lot more. And at a certain point, she's talking about Biden starting another effing war. And that part wasn't meant to go on air. She apologized for it later. She didn't apologize for saying what she said about expressing disdain for Biden getting into yet another war overseas. She didn't apologize for that part. She apologized for dropping the F-bomb live on television when she thought her mic was not on and there was some behind-the-scenes banter that was just behind the scenes and nothing else. Now, before we get to the full MS-13 DNC, Joy Reid, The View breakdown, let's get to the actual hot mic moment. And, of course, I will link to both clips in the box. If you're on IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll this one.
Over the weekend, President Biden said he's ready to take action if Congress is serious about solving the border issue.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly. And Congress needs to get it done.
Starting another fucking war. Still trying to kill the deal.
Okay, so that was that. Now, you heard that. Starting another effing war. That part right there, that was Joy Reid, if you didn't know. And she got caught in the hot mic expressing a little bit of trepidation, a little bit of disdain. She did not like Biden going overseas and starting yet another war, which many of us on the right can relate to. Now, as I said, Joy Reid cannot really say stuff like that out in the open because that goes against her party. That goes against her marching orders on MS-13 DNC. You got to support Biden no matter what. If he falls on the ground and breaks every bone in his body, you got to say that he looks strong. He looks confident. He looks like a real leader out there. He's a bag of bones on the ground, curled up with horseshoes on the bottom of his dress shoes. But don't worry about that, okay? You got to say that he looks fantastic no matter what. If it's a lie, then we lie and we stand on that lie. So, of course, after the hot mic moment, and many of us on the right seized on the opportunity to expose her for having some points that we agree with, MS-13 DNC sent her to The View to set things straight. Now, let's check this out right here. Okay, now, Joy Reid, before we begin, Joy Reid, are you trolling us with the wigs? Is this a thing that you're doing to make us comment on it? I mean, what in the world, what in the chia pet, what in the mop, what in the Donald Trump flat wig, no volume is going on here? And did you dye it pink, or do we have just ridiculous sepia tone lighting on the set? I don't know what's happening, but I digress. Let's go ahead and get into this.
Joy, I want to ask you, because we, as people that wear microphones every day, we can relate to this. But last week you had a hot mic moment that got some attention. Let's just say you used some colorful language. Who doesn't?
Not me. I'm a Christian.
But yeah, but it seems like you were criticizing President Biden for starting another war. I don't think you're alone in concerns of that, but is that true? Like, what was behind this?
Well, I'm going to hit that with a cute no comment. No, but what I...
Okay, now I'm pausing it right here because MS-13, DNC, ABC, all these alphabet letter organizations like to do little copyright claims. But I think she wanted to do the no comment right there or avoid the question. But she has to answer because she's got to clear it up and make it known that she supports Joe Biden.
I'm going to say is I am a person that I'm a study war no more kind of Christian. I'm a red letter Christian. I don't believe in war, whether it is the governor of Texas literally trying to start another civil war.
There we go. See, there we go. So rather than just the question being about Biden starting the war overseas, you're talking about the governor of Texas. How is the governor of Texas starting the war? Your man, Joe Biden, has the border wide open, and Texas is dealing with it the best way they can. How are you going to blame him for a crisis that your president started? And for those who say that it was not the president, these are the laws of the land, whatever. Well, why is it that when Trump was in office, there was no border crisis? Yes, there were illegal crossings. Yes, you did have some border hoppers and whatnot. You had that going on, but nowhere near the level in which it is right now today, 2024, under the Biden administration. So how are you going to blame the Texas governor, Greg Abbott, for what's happening on a federal level? The border is a federal responsibility. Why are you going to blame a state that is suffering as a result of federal inaction? How are you going to say that he's starting the war? But again, the whole purpose of this little interview on The View is to have some room between her and conservatives that are using what she said about Biden to prove their point.
Over an issue that his party could solve tomorrow. There's literally a bill that they just could pass.
Why do we need to pass a bill when before your man got in office, there was no problem? Why do we need new laws when the previous laws worked just fine? How about enforcing the laws that are on the books right now? In the bill, how many pages? 370 pages, $118 billion, $60 billion to Ukraine, 14.5 to Israel, a few more billion to Taiwan. That is the war overseas you were talking about there, Joy Reid. So let's circle back to what you said. You don't want him starting another effing war. I agree 100%. Right on, my blonde hair, brown eyed sister. Right on. So maybe we shouldn't be trying to push this bill through, which could prompt or further aggravate a potential war overseas that you and I both don't want to be involved in, right?
Right, and do the border security issue, or whether it's in the Middle East. I was deeply against the Iraq War. I'm an anti-war person, and so I don't want to say that there's any side that is specifically to blame here, but
there is a side to blame. Your guy, Joe Biden. Your guy. You said it. You said it. So now you want to say, oh, I'm not blaming the side, but you said he, speaking about Biden, is starting another effing war. You said that. Now you want to say, oh, well, no, it's not any side to blame. This is called damage control.
I think for most Americans, we're war weary. I think we're all weary of conflict, and we would like to see us progress economically, socially, try to bring this country back from the brink of racial hatred.
So we didn't brought a lot of things in there. You're talking about the governor of Texas, MAGA Republicans, racism, slavery, a little bit of everything. Bringing up the Christian faith, all that good stuff, to damage control what you said about your man Joe Biden. That is a whole lot of shuffling. Shout out to CGA. That's a whole lot of shuffling to try and clean up what you said, when what you said was correct. I wish we had more honest people on television.
Let's not do war at all.
Yeah. Okay. Let's not kill people.
Let's not kill people. And I mean, what's happening in
All right, so there we have it. The cleanup job, the damage control from Joy Reid over on MS13 DNC, talking about Joe Biden. She said what she said. What she said as I close, what she said on the hot mic was right on point, and what many Americans from the left and the right think. That's what we feel. We don't want to get involved in another war. Most people don't like war. There's nothing wrong with that. But now, since you spoke about Joe Biden in a negative way, you got to come out and do damage control, because the powers that be say, hey, man, we can't have that kind of stuff going on. You can't be on television talking about our guy, our golden ancient goose, Joe Biden, in a negative way. We can't have that. Go over there and clean it up. Now, as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to Joy Reid. Shout out to MS13 DNC. Shout out to ABC. Shout out to all these alphabet letter organizations, Democratic Party, politicians. This is why, well, part of the reason why I enjoy staying independent. I've gotten some phone calls over the years. I'm good. Let me just keep doing what I'm doing because I'm able to be honest and be real. I'm not beholden to these big corporate overlords that are going to say, hey, ABO, you got to say this and you got to say that and you got to say it this way. And if you go on the air and you say something that you shouldn't say, you got to go and apologize. Look, I said what I said. Now, if I said something that's factually wrong, I could correct myself. But if I didn't say anything factually wrong and I have an opinion, I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to stand on it. I'm not going to allow some corporate entity, some big money player, my boss, my employer, to force me to say one thing or the other. Ain't going to happen. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on what Joy Reid said here? The damage control, trying to go back and clean up what she said about Joe Biden on the hot mic, not wanting him to start another effing war. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is a thing that's pretty predictable. Of course, she's going to go and kind of, take back her comments. She's going to walk it back. She's going to try and clarify it and cleaning it up and then pointing the finger in other directions and say, oh, well, nah, it's not just about him. It's about war in general. Of course, she's going to do that. I expected nothing. Like right when I saw the first video, I saw this video coming. I figured she'd do it. I figured they would make her do it. And here we are right now today talking about it. No surprise to me. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.